Salutations, friends. It's your pal, said Stevie, and maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but I just got done whacking off with my FERRUM Forged Titanium Stinger. I'll keep that linked up there somewhere. It passed the spine whacking with flying colors, but now I figured I'd take it apart and clean it, do a quick disassembly on it, reassembly, and yeah, I like checking out button locks, seeing how they're put together. I don't expect this to be anything too difficult, so why don't we get into it, shall we? But I am going to use, because I rarely use it, I'm going to use this FERRUM Forge breakdown mat. Yes, I am. This happens to be the Stinger breakdown mat, so it'll help me keep track of everything. This is for the liner lock version, but yeah. All right, so pesky T6 screws on the body, and then a T8 on the pivot. I do have to take the pocket clip off to disassemble. This construction is a little bit different than the liner lock. The liner lock has a backspacer. This one do not have a backspacer. I think it has a couple less screws as well. So there's that. But yeah, I am digging the Stinger button lock. I've always loved the Stinger as a great EDC knife, and having it in a button lock variant now is cool. Alright, so I need to make sure that I don't yeet the spring. So I need to be careful here. You don't want to be spring yeeting. Oh boy. Go fucking figure. I yeeted the spring. I yeeted the fucking spring. Ah ha ha. Perfect. Alright. Luckily, it landed on my keyboard. How freaking ironic, man. How freaking ironic was that? Anyway. So I can say one of the things that is slightly different is that it disassembles a little bit different than a regular button lock, I think. I don't know. I think I'm used to taking it apart slightly different when I have a button lock. But yeah. But that was pretty funny. Scale, scale, button lock, pivot, button, spring. So there it is in all its glory. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I only paused because I want to use this picture right here as the thumbnail. So this will give me a chance to pause or go through it and clip this for the thumbnail. But yeah, that was pretty dang funny. That was pretty dang funny. I'm going to give everything a little wipe me down, is what I'm going to do, real quick like. I could put skips in this, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to. I was pretty happy with the the fitment of everything. I don't have any blade play. I don't have any issues with the action or anything, so I'm just going to keep it as is and hold up on putting skips in. I don't think there's anything else I need to wipe down here. So, typically though, so yeah, I like the way Ferrum Forge has been doing these two-piece handle constructions as opposed to having a backspacer with it. I like that. The backspacer is basically just milled into the scales. No milling in the inside, obviously, but you do have these carbon fiber inlays that make it kind of lightweight. But so I had to take this down from the clip side. I think a lot of button locks you are taking apart from the show side because you are setting the button down in there. So that's taking me for a loop for a second. So let me try to think about that, but let's start reassembling here. Thinking on the fly, which is not my strong suit. Actually, it kind of is, actually. I rarely plan shit out in advance, so I don't know what I'm talking about, Willis. But the button comes in from this side. Did it not? It did not. Or did it? Yes, it has to. Of course it has to. I'm not thinking thoroughly. Yeah? It has to come through on this side. Yeah. Alright, so... Alright, let's just see what happens here. I'm using this dog drool from Lynch Northwest. I've been having some good success with it. I'll put a link in the description. I don't have an affiliate or anything with Lynch Northwest. I'm just a fanboy, and it's working good. So I put my bearings cage side towards the blade. It don't matter. You do what you do. In fact, the people that I heard say that they don't think that it matters at all is FERRUM Forge. I think it was Chris that did a breakdown video on one of their knives a while back, and he's like, it doesn't really matter. We don't care. So, and not that I'm not saying that just because they said it, but they just kind of reaffirmed. I don't really see any difference. That's the preference that I do. And I know some people say otherwise. So, again, you do you. So this is a secondary pin right there. Let's see here. How does this interact? Okay. Here we go. Make sure that that pivot is captured. It is. And we're good to go. We're good to go there. Alright, so I think I just need to, I'm going to put a little on there. And I'm just going to lube that up slightly right there. I don't really think I need to lube the button at all. What's the button rubbing on? I guess I will drop some lube around the plunge. Button lock, plunge lock, I think those terms are interchangeable. But that is definitely good to go there. So cage to side against the blade. I'll put a couple of dabs on here. That washer's wanting to pop out. Alright, so now is when I put the spring back in there. And if this all goes right, this should just sit right back down, right? Oh, let me clean out that schmutz right there. I just noticed that. Just use the needle here to Wipe that through. Get that schmutz out of there. Actually, I'll use this to... Okay. Maybe I'll dab a couple in there. Is that right, though? Yeah, that's right. I think it's right. Here goes nothing, folks. I gotta have the spring on there. Yeah, that's right. So now I'm gonna put the pivot screw back in. This is steel hardware. So it's sticking to the magnet. Alright, so now that's not going to come out. Swap out my T8 for my T6 and put this back on here. Make sure that that is tightened down. Put the pocket clip back in. Woo. This is a very simple construction. As long as you don't freaking lose your spring, you're good. I forget the last button lock I took apart, but I totally yeeted the spring and couldn't find it, actually. Had to do some makeshift. I went and got a pen spring and used that. But, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, so... we're back on center. I created some button stick. I created some button stick. Not very much, but a little bit. Need to tighten that up. Let me just tighten it all the way down and then back it off a skosh. No blade play, little blade play. There, that's good. I did create a little bit of button stick. I'm not worried about that, though. That's going to break in. It's already, yep. Yeah. For whatever reason. There was a little stick at first, but that's gone. Yeah. I think we're back in business, folks. Back in business. So now the question is that I have put this all back together. Will it still pass the spine whack test? It's passing the test, y'all. Yep. You can whack off all day long with your titanium button lock stanger. No problems whatsoever, folks. No problems whatsoever. So maybe that's what I'll just use for the disassembly thumbnail. Make it simple. But that's all I got for you folks. This didn't go bad. Just the biggest thing when taking apart your button locks, you saw it. I said, don't yeet your spring. And then I yeeted my spring. I did not heed my own cautionary tale. You gotta heed your own cautionary tales if you're gonna give a cautionary tale to be heeded. Anyway, folks, I appreciate you tuning in. Please, if you haven't, consider giving this the like. If you haven't subscribed already, you can do so right there. And then, how about if you haven't seen that video right there, you check that out and give that a like. And appreciate you tuning in. And until the next one, I bid you, mofos, a deuces.